Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Andi and I'm glad you're here. In today's video, Mama Andi and I will be teaching an acrylic painting tutorial of this winter scene, and we focus on use of a fan brush. The materials needed will be in the description below. Mama Andi and I did have some technical issues, so you will see my PNG reacting to me talking to Mama Andi, but you won't hear anything in the video until about halfway through. Myself and Mama Andi do host a painting class every last Sunday of the month. If you would like to see more videos like this, be sure you like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the painting tutorial.
Just barely hear her, so we'll do our best here tonight. As we were doing the top part of our sky, the dark part of our sky, and which is dry now, so it's looking a bit too light. So I'm going to add a bit more black to my blue this time to make it a bit darker. So like before, I'm just going to put some black on the corner of my brush, and I'm just going to use the dark blue, I think, this time. And I'm going to keep the black part of the brush that I put the black on. I'm going to keep that up top. There we go. And I'm going to clean my brush because I don't want too much black in there. And now we're going to come down now. We're going to go into just that dark blue and that light blue. I'm going to keep the dark blue up towards the black. And I'm going to start right on top of where I put the black. And go up a little bit and come down. Go up a little bit and come down. Okay. I'm going to wet my brush again because I want to keep this fairly brush fairly damp so I can blend better. And I just picked up some blue, that dark blue, and that light blue again. And I'm going to put the dark blue over the light blue. I didn't want the dark blue to be too dark. And as we're coming down, we're going to get lighter and lighter. So I'm going to clean my brush again. And I'm going to put out a little tiny bit of white. I'm going to pick up some of that dark blue and some white, just a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to keep the dark part of the brush and the light down in the bottom. Just don't have to clean your brush. I'm going to pick up some of that light blue there now, and just a little bit of dark blue and a little bit of white just on top of my brush. Okay. I'm just going to pick up white and light blue this time, keeping the blue up top. So blue and white. And blue and white. And a bit more white this time than blue. And I know the snow is down underneath, but I think I'm going to still come down right on down where the snow is, because there's still going to be a bit of blue undertone in the snow. So a bit more white than blue. And a bit of blue, bit of white. If you got stubborn places where the paint don't want to go, just push it down with your brush. Okay, so I'm not going to clean my brush this time. I'm just going to pick up all white. Now there is probably a bit of blue in that white, which I want. We're just going to keep on going down to the bottom. Just picking up white. And I am going to pick up a little smidge of blue this time with my white, keeping the blue up top. Picked up white that time because there is blue in my brush. I'm going to wet my brush a little bit. The brush is a bit dry. That was. Alrighty. Now I'm going to clean my brush really, really good. And I am going to dry with the hair dryer now, Andrea, if you wanted to mute me there. And okay, didn't know if you heard me. Okay. So Andrea was gracious enough to do us out a little pre-sketch for her little winter painting here tonight. So I got some would black work? Probably not. Hold on, now it's probably white would be better. So I was saying Andrea was gracious enough to do us a pre-sketch. So I just enlarged it to fit the my canvas, which is 11 by 14, and it's a stretch canvas. And I did my moon fairly big. It's because it looks fairly big there in the image, and that's really the main focus of this painting tonight is the moon. So you can make it as big or as small as you like, and you can enlarge your cabin if you wish, if you want the cabin to be the main focus of the painting tonight, and that's entirely up to yourself. So I have some tracing paper here. I'm just going to flick it under my image here, my sketch, and I'm just going to trace on the moon there for now. And we'll fill in the others as we go. So I just have like a little dotting tool here that I'm going to use. So I'm going to grab purple, and it's African purple, which is a deep purple, but we'll mix white with it, it'll lighten it up a bit. And a bit of blue with it. I'll show you now what color it will be when I mix it. Only putting a little dab out on my palette, not a lot. Yep. Remember to shake your paint too, guys, especially if it's been sitting a while. If the oils tend to pop up to the surface, you don't want that to be coming out. Now, I'm going to use that big brush that I use for the background. Make sure it's cleaned real good. Just over here, one side, and my chalk. Now, we have what I call it a stippling brush, but the technical term is for this type of one I got here, it's called a deer foot. And the reason why it's called a deer foot is because it's cut on an angle, and it's just like a bristle, hard, like hog hair brush. You can get the regular ones like this as well. Like it's like a flat. It's like very hard, scruffy brush. So when I put into the description for a scruffy brush, this is what I meant. So you can either use one like this, and I also have one. It's not hog hair, such as hog hair, but he's probably won't find him now. Yeah, like he's a shorter one, and he's a little tiny bit softer. These are great for making bushes as well. And you probably even do your tree with this. I have another one here as well. It's just he's just straight across, and he's like a scruffy brush too. So there's all kinds of choices for sure. So what we're going to do here now for the moon, we'll probably put out a bit more white than I got out. We're just going to do our moon white first. And yep, just all white. So just load your brush up with white and really press the paint into your bristles. Got them load up pretty good here. And do your brush strokes in a circular motion, okay? And I'll just press my brush right down and just glide it, basically. Just press down, and you should get a crisp edge. So I'm not even really lifting my brush off the canvas here when I'm doing my strokes. Okay, just pretty much just back and forth, just flipping, just lifting barely enough to move the bristles off the canvas. Okay, now I'm going to pick up some more here, and you can even turn your canvas whichever way you want. You don't have to leave your canvas stationary. Trying to get a good foundation coat down. Okay, and we're going to let this dry, or dry it with a hair dryer, and then we're going to come back and do another coat. All right, now we're going to, you can put me on mute there now, Andrea. Alrighty. Good to go. So now what we're going to do here now is I'm going to pre-mix my purple that I want. Instead of just, because I want to show you what color, so you guys probably can mix it kind of same as me if you want to do that way. I'm just going to pick up like a smaller brush, that's all. No particular one. So I'm going to just pick up a bit of purple here and a bit of blue. Put a bit of blue in there. Gray it down a little bit. A bit of white. Ready. So this is the color I got. So I put in purple, blue, and white. So you can, it's almost like a lavender color, really. And a bit more blue to tone it down a bit. Gray it a bit more. I don't want purple. Just want the purple hint in there. Okay. So I'm going to put another layer of white, and while the white is wet, that's when we're going to add the detail. So remember now, acrylic paint dries fairly fast. So you're going to kind of have to work a bit fast. So that's the thing. I'm going to put on my paint. You can put it on a bit thickish. That way then you won't have to work quite as fast. Remember, keep your brush strokes kind of like around it, 3 moon. Okay. So now while that's still wet, I'm going to pick up use that dipper brush here. Pick up that, and the dipper brush I'm going to keep it dry. So just randomly, I'm not going to just tapping. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. You don't have to be too concerned about the bottom part here, because this is all going to be covered up with trees, I would guess. Would say. Right. We have just a little bit here on the side here. And I am going to clean on my brush. I'm going to get it as dry as I can. And I'm going to pick up some of that white, but I'm going to dip it in the water, get a little bit translucent white, like. And just wipe the excess off in my paper towel. And I'm just going to lightly go back over that purple, just to kind of just blend it in a little bit. Just soften it a little bit. Try to get rid of some of those harsh lines a bit. Just soften it out a bit. And make sure you go right to the edge, because if not, it's not going to look like it's tipping out over the edge of your moon. Or edge of your moon. It sounds like the moon is flat, but it ain't flat, I don't think. Alrighty. Soft bit. Okay. Not so hard. How are we all making out? Is anybody actually painting or just watching, or that's, of course, that's what we do. That's Brandon. Actually, I probably didn't have to really do that. Could have just let it dry, but that's okay. Now I'm just going to take away my chalk marks here so I don't forget it. And just using a wet paintbrush just to discard of those. Alrighty. Now, so we have some background trees there behind our little cabin. So we will put our image back on here and get those trees in. I think I'm going to use my dot time. So what I've done there, because some of those trees are behind the cabin, I never went all the way down. So I don't want the darkness and everything. There's really no need. So I just put a little line there to indicate that's where the tree is going to go. So black. I already have black on my canvas. So I'm going to use my Filbert brush. That way, Andrew, you're using the Filbert brush, right? So I'm just gonna. You're using the flat? Okay, well, I'll use the flat. Then that way, then you'll be able to follow me. So those trees are small, so we're going to have to use a smallish brush. One to the left here is a little bigger. So we're just going to put some black on our brush, and we're going to put it straight up. Okay. Actually, if you gotta just make the top of your tree. Just touch the canvas, make the top of your tree, and with your brush straight up, you're just going to just randomly tap and just tap lightly where you straight across, and then you're just going to come in on a kind of like an angle. And you're going to come back again, tapping, and just tap, 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 tap. And the faster you go, the more random your taps are going to be. Okay. And as you go down, obviously you're going to get bigger. And you can even go out on the same one as you, and then you can come back. You can even like have your tree bare, you can have your tree full. You know, it's up to you which way you do your trees. So you're just lightly tapping. You're not tapping too vigorously here. All the way down. So make it a bit full on the bottom here. Alrighty. So what Elmo is drawing, we're going to move on to our next one. And the next one is not as big, so we're going to make the top of it just a little smaller. Get up here. Okay. And we're not going to go out on the top quite as far. Okay. Just a little tree. And as far as he goes. And the next one is not real big either. So alrighty. So now we got our bigger trees. So we're going to dry these. So I know you can meet me there now if you wish. This one here is almost dry. I only got to flick it on for a second. So get my tracer here again. Yeah, I can tell. Oh. Excuse me. Painting what? So, what we're going to do here now, our biggest tree is overlapped the middle tree. The middle tree is overlapping the third tree. So what we're going to do, we're going to go third, second, first. That way then when I do the first one, the second one is going to overlap. When I do the second one, the third one is going to overlap. Make sense? Alrighty. Now, I will use a fan brush to show you. So I'm just going to load up. And my fan brush is like a little bit bristly too, like hag hair. One, just gonna push. I find the fan brush is quicker. And of course, like he's smaller, so you don't want too many. Yeah, the third one now is second one. Sorry, is a bit higher. Fan brush kind of too makes the branches, I find, like flare down, makes it look more like a tree. What was that, Andrea? Oh, yeah. I know my camera's gone out again. I just fixed it. I just seen it when it went out. Now, I'll clean my brush and then we're going to come back and put white on our trees. So, and we don't want too much. Just wants a little tiny hint on the piece here. And make sure you see like the dark underneath. And we're going to put just a little hint, even with the white on the brush, a little hint of blue from the night sky. So you can put a little bit of dark, a little bit of light, just here and there on the top of the snow. Just a little dab. A little dab will do ya. Okay. See my brush. And with all white. And this back small tree, it's in the distance a bit. So when you put your white on your brush, just wet it down a little tiny bit and have your white diluted a little bit. Just because you're just gonna see this tree is in the distance. Okay. That's like my white. I'm gonna pick up my blue. Sorry, pick up a little tiny bit of water, a little bit of blue, and light blue, and a little bit of dark blue. Just barely put it on there. Alrighty. I'm gonna pick up my fan brush here now. I'm gonna pick up a bit of white. And these trees are a little more detailed, a little bit more for the foreground, so they're going to be more brighter. So the blue is going to be brighter on these trees. Clean my brush. And if you find when the paint dries, if you feel your blue is too dark, you can always go back in and put a bit of white on top. Clean my brush again. Alrighty. Yeah, we can fit our cabin here now with our trees. We won't put our any details. We're just going to put the shape of the roof and the cabin itself. No, just going to block it in. That's all first. I might move it over a bit. I might. Oh, it's fine there, I'd say, because he is over that tree a little bit. So I'm going to use a small brush. Probably about that number 6 on this, I think, or number 9. Number 6. And other paintbrushes might be a different number. It's only a little small brush anyway. So we're going to need brown, or I got a burnt umber brown, and I got a cinnamon brown. So I'm going to go with the burnt umber first, the dark brown. You don't need a lot because it's only a little small surface painting. I'll wet my brush here. And I know it is a dark brown, so I'm just going to put a little smidge of black in there. Roughly. And I'm going to pull down. Okay. And this side over here should be a bit darker than this side here, because the moon is kind of going to shine down on that side to make it a little bit lighter. That side there is fairly dark. So I'm just going to pick up brown this time, that burnt umber. Like I said, we're going to pull down. And when I'm going to dry that there now. So what I'm going to do there now is I'm going to pick up a bit of that brown, just wipe it off on my paper towel, and on this side where it's dark, I'm just going to lightly streak a bit of brown over that black. Just not really pressing, just letting the brush do the work. Just kind of just put in like a little log look like. And I am going to pick up a little tiny bit of white, just a little smidge on the tip of my brush. That's all, just a little bit. And I'm going to wipe some off on my paper towel. And very, very lightly. Okay. Great. Streak it on there, okay? Just here and there, just like that. So I don't want it too light. And we are going to put another layer of brown on this side here. And I'm going to dry that now. And for that one, I am going to mix a bit of brown and a bit of black, dark brown, okay? And I'm just going to very, very, very lightly, just here and there, rub it on there. Okay, now I'm going to clean my brush. And I'm going to pick up a bit of white. And I'm going to wipe it off on my paper towel. Just very lightly. And now I'm just going to very lightly, just barely touching the canvas. Okay. All right. Now, it has black there's windows in the cabin here, a window and a door. And it's black. It's like there's nobody in there. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'll put it in black, but I think I will put a bit of white on it to almost make it look like a gray color. And I might I wonder. You guys can, I guess, make it look like, put it in yellow if you want, and it's like somebody home in there. Somebody in their cabin on this beautiful winter's night. And while that's still wet, bit of white. There we go. Now, we have our door. I want that white a little more vibrant on the door. So it kind of like indicates that some light shining down from the moon. I'm going to put it more so to the right. Okay, and on the moon is shining down this way, so it kind of might just hit the window on this side over here. Just a little bit. So, snow on the cabin. Oh, I made a boo-boo. You gotta go up further with that brown on the other side. Oh, okay, up your way. So we gotta continue on up here. That's okay. We're allowed to make boo-boo. Yeah. So while that's drying, I'll just do my snow. You're just gonna tap it on the edge here. Just a little corner of it, right there. And I'll come back and brighten that up after when it dries. And we're gonna come down with our snow. Don't go across this way. Down. And you don't have to worry about the top of your cabin being right straight across because there's snow on top of it and it's going to be drifty, wonky, whatever. I have to dry that here now. Now, so I'm going to fix the top of that cabin. Just come back with pure white. There might be some bit of a brown on in my brush, but that's okay. And I'm not actually purposely not edging my snow in the bottom. I kind of want to look like there's icicles hanging off the cabin here. That's just a little addition from me. Let's dry this in there. Another layer of white. White is so some white you get is not real good coverage white, I find. I'm just gonna hang a little icicle hanging off the cabin here. Alrighty, now we're going to take a bit of that blue, that light blue, and a little bit of that dark blue, mix together. We don't want too dark or too light. And mix a bit of white blue. And we're just going to streak it on top of the, I'm going to dab it off actually on my paper towel here. Just going to streak it mainly on the top part of the cabin here. Very, very lightly. Some of that nice color. I'm going to put a little bit more on the right hand side here. Oh. And over on the right hand side, or left hand side, sorry, it's going to be a little bit darker blue right on the top edge of the snow here, under edge here. Okay. All right, now we can get in our snow mounds and our shadow. It's a shadow here from the cabin. So what I'm going to do is, with a scrubby brush, I'm going to pick up a bit of white, wipe it off on my paper towel. Okay, so we've got a shadow here. So with white, I'm just going to like roundy garden right on up to that. Just scrubbing it in here. Right to the front part of that cabin there. Pick up a little bit more. I'll wipe it off on my paper towel. Round and around and around. Now I'm going to pick up a bit of that light blue and a little bit of that dark blue, wipe it off with my paper towel, and just rub that in. Okay. Clean my brush. And we're going to pick up some more white and we're going to wipe it on a paper towel. And there's a snow mound right here. Mm-hmm. I'm just getting it in there. Maybe if you get it over your tree, you can always come back and just fix it up. And that, to me, that only looks like a little bit of mist, because it is like a little bit hazy there in the background. So it comes down right there. Scrub, scrub, scrub. And we're just blending right into that shadow up there. Thank goodness for scrubby brushes. Now, we have another shadow. Oh, there's just that blue and that white again. So we have one kind of like coming in right here. And then we got like a patch of white. And then we got a patch of blue. I'm going to get in my white now. More white. And if you want to, you can incorporate a little bit of that purple in your snow, if you know, as well. So now we'll pick up some of that blue, light blue, and a bit of that dark blue. And it's a bit dark underneath the trace, so a little bit darker. And I just mixed a little bit of blue and that dark blue together. And I'm just going down around underneath that dark blue and going right on up to the edges of the dark blue and meeting with the dark blue to blend the edges a little bit so it's not so rough edges there. Okay, and I'm just going to use all that blue that's left in my brush. This is mostly blues up in this corner, up in this section here where the trees are. Lightly come down into the no here. Try to blend those edges out. The best thing about these scruffy brushes here, you got no worries about ruining the bristles because this is what they're made for. So now I'm going to pick up a bit of white along with the blue that's in my brush. Alright, just to soften those edges a little bit more. And if you end up picking up a little tiny bit of purple, if there's any purple around your white or whatever, that'll be a happy accident. I'm just going over the blue that I put in there earlier with the white just to soften it just a little bit and smooth out those edges, just to blend it in.
Thank you everyone for following along our January painting class. Our next event will occur on Sunday, February 25th, as we host these every last Sunday of the month on Twitch, and I'll see you in the next video.